Well, we cross now to Mauritius, where Satyen Sanghvi, Managing Director of Regrow, is standing by. Satyen, it's interesting looking at your background. You're a British educator or UK educated specialist in stem cells and an entrepreneur as well. Did the entrepreneur side come after you gained the knowledge in stem cells?
I think when I finished my education and research skills gathering, that's when I thought that I could set up a world-class GMP facility in India to cater to the stem cell market, which wasn't addressed by any of the big pharmaceutical or the MNCs. So that's when we saw the opportunity, and I think it went hand in hand along with the skill of stem cell research. I also had developed those skills for setting up a business venture as well.
Now, you must have been asked this question 1,000 times. Remember, we're a business channel, and not a scientific channel. So stem cells are not always fully understood by the audience that we're talking to. Could you give us, in layman's terms, what it actually means?
Stem cells are cells that are present in every individual's body. Their function is to basically repair and maintain all the tissue and the organs that are present. They, however, are also found in various parts of the human body, such as the umbilical cord blood at childbirth, the bone marrow, also the peripheral blood, and now research has also shown that dental pulp has stem cells.
So where's the business case with stem cells?
So how stem cell therapy works is there are two parts to it. One is an autologous cell therapy and the other is the allogenic cell therapy. For autologous cell therapy, a patient who has an injury or a defect in his bone or any kind of a limb, he would ideally go to the hospital and see the doctor. That's when they would advise on the stem cell therapy and have a step one as isolation of the stem cell, which is then sent back to the laboratory for culture and manipulation of these cells. Once this process is over, which typically takes around 3 to 4 weeks, they're sent back to the same hospital for reimplantation in the same patient to treat that condition, whether it's acute or chronic.
And what about Mauritius? Because it is a developing field, the whole biotechnology field, but specifically in stem cells. What are you guys doing in that country?
Actually, here for the Bio-Africa Summit, and we've discussed with the government officials. I think they have also passed the Clinical Trial Act recently, a couple of years back, and they seem to be opening up on the biotech sector. And I think that's when if they take an early decision on stem cell application, basic science or advanced or even practice in the medical hospital, it will be an advantage to not just the Mauritian population but also to the African countries. So we're working closely with them to develop a state-of-the-art laboratory which can help right from basic till at the advanced level.
Mauritius is doing some interesting things in many areas. Is its research, or is what the government is putting on the table for stem cell research amongst the best in the world? Is it advanced or ahead of other countries?
No, I wouldn't say it's very advanced, but I think they are doing the right things and getting the right people to advise them on certain regulations and to prepare the legal framework. So I think if they do that very quickly in the next couple of years, you can see Mauritius as one of the key area where Africa can then look to Mauritius for setting up those guidelines in the future.
You mentioned Africa. So from an African context, it would appear that Mauritius is ahead of that curve.
Yeah, definitely. I think the government is more active, and there are a lot of research institutes involved doing advanced clinical trials as well as basic research. I think with more and more facilities being available, I think that can be the way forward.
Satyen, just from a broader perspective, stem cell research around the world has been painted as rather controversial. Are you seeing greater acceptance of the science?
Yes, I think if you see that there are more than 3,000 clinical trials that are underway currently in the world, and more than 800 or 1,000 laboratories dedicated only in stem cells trying to advance their research to medical use into the hospitals. And I think it's that probably the failures have been highlighted more than the success stories. That's one of the reasons probably it's termed as controversial, but there are some really good institutes working and doing a lot of advanced research, and US has seen that, Europe has seen that, Asia, Korea and Japan has seen that, and now in India we as Regrow have been able to provide 2 of the cellular therapies at the market level.
Are you also finding that with the advances on big data that it's helping your research, it's helping the science to develop perhaps more rapidly?
Yes, I think a lot of data is being published, and there are a lot of more and more hospitals that are trying to set up stem cell laboratories and stem cell transplantation centers, which will further aid in the progression of this science from mainly known for research into practice. So I think the translation part is happening, but it's happening maybe a little slow.
That was Sanghvi talking to us from Mauritius. He's the MD of Regrow.